The whispering crystals. In the shadow of twin suns, the planet Tahlora shimmered with iridescent dunes and jagged crystal spires. The first human colony, Haven's Reach, was a cluster of domed habitats strung together like pearls. It sat on the edge of the Lazareth expanse, a vast desert strewn with massive, luminous crystals that resonated faintly when touched. Dr. Lyra Chen had been on Tahlora for 6 months, studying the planet's unique geology and the inexplicable low-frequency hums emitted by the crystals. Locals called it the whisper, a sound that defied explanation and sent shivers down the spine. Her latest expedition brought her to the heart of the expanse, where the largest crystal, nicknamed the Spire, thrust up from the sands like a frozen lightning bolt. As Lyra set up her instruments, she noticed something strange. The whisper was louder here, almost articulate. She pressed a contact microphone against the spire's surface and listened. Patterns emerged. Waves of frequencies too complex for natural processes. Dr. Chen, you should hear this, said her assistant, Rafe, holding out a portable receiver. Through the static came a series of tones, an almost language-like cadence. Lyra's pulse quickened. It's a message, she whispered. Suddenly, the sand around the spire shifted, revealing intricate carvings beneath the surface, lines and symbols like alien writing. The hum rose in pitch, becoming clearer. Words formed in her mind, as if whispered directly into her thoughts. We are the Shalenthra. Awaken us, Lyra staggered back. Rafe, record everything. This isn't just a geological anomaly, it's communication. The spire pulsed with light, and the ground trembled. Crystals nearby began to hum in harmony, their resonance weaving into a complex song. The message clarified. We are trapped beneath. Bound in crystal. Help us. Panic battled wonder in Lyra's mind. Was this an ancient, intelligent species encased within Tahlora's crystalline crust? Had humanity's mining and settlement disturbed their prison, or their tomb? Rafe's voice cracked with fear. What if freeing them is dangerous? What if they are not friendly? Lyra hesitated. The scientific discovery of a sentient alien species was unprecedented, but the responsibility weighed heavy. Prepare the excavation team, she said finally. We need to understand what, or who, we're dealing with. As night fell over Tahlora and its twin suns dipped below the horizon, the spire's glow intensified. All around them, the desert seemed to awaken, the crystals whispering secrets long buried beneath the sand. Lyra and her team stood at the brink of an ancient enigma, uncertain if they were about to unearth salvation or doom. The first excavation drone penetrated the crystal bedrock beneath the spire. As it drilled, the resonance intensified, a low symphony of rising tones that resonated through Haven's Reach. Colonists reported dreams filled with alien whispers and strange visions of towering crystal cities beneath a violet sky. Lyra Chen stood at the dig site, reviewing the data streaming in from the drone. Its camera revealed a vast hollow chamber beneath the surface, illuminated by the faint glow of crystalline structures arranged like a latticework. In the center stood a massive figure, vaguely humanoid, but clearly not human, its form encased in semi-transparent crystal. Veins of light pulsed through the figure, synchronized with the drone's vibrations. We are the Shalenthra. You must decide, free us, or leave us to sleep. Lyra's mind reeled as the message rippled through her thoughts. She turned to Rafe, whose face was pale beneath his dusty helmet. They're alive, he whispered. Or something close to it. I think they're in stasis, Lyra said. Held here for millennia. If we disrupt the lattice, we could release them, or destroy them. As if sensing her hesitation, the spire's glow intensified, bathing the excavation in brilliant light. The message deepened, we sought peace, but war found us. We fled our world to preserve our knowledge, our essence. We trusted the crystals to guard us, but they became our prison. Now, we reach to you. Lyra faced a choice, one that could determine the fate of 2 species. Was this the Shalenthra's plea for help, or a siren's call luring them into danger? She activated her comm to connect with the colony's leadership. Commander Das, I need authorization to proceed with controlled crystal fracturing. We've found evidence of a sentient species in stasis beneath the surface. Commander Das's voice crackled through. You're suggesting we wake them? This isn't just a scientific matter, Dr. Chen. This could be first contact, or the beginning of a disaster. Lyra's hands trembled. We can't ignore them. If we leave them here, they might die, or they might eventually free themselves. We need to understand. After a long pause, Das responded, proceed, but with extreme caution. Lyra nodded to Rafe. Begin the resonance pulse. Gradual, low intensity. The drone transmitted a controlled energy pulse into the lattice, carefully fracturing the outer crystalline shell. The spire's glow flared, and the hum resolved into a clear, harmonious voice that filled the air. We awaken. The sky churned as the dark shapes descended, shimmering against the pale horizon. Dust storms swirled from the desert, veiling the incoming threat in a haze of ochre and gold. Lyra's heart pounded. The Shalenthra's form, still flickering with shifting light, turned toward the sky with a profound sadness. They are here. Lyra activated her comm. Commander Das, incoming vessels, unknown origin. We may have company. Evacuate non-essential personnel from Haven's Reach and prepare for emergency lockdown. The commander's voice cut through the static. Roger that. We're scrambling shuttles now. What are we dealing with? Lyra glanced at the Shalenthra. Not sure, but it's connected to them. They called them the Hunters. The shimmering being stepped forward, and the remaining crystal shards reassembled into an intricate staff-like device in its hand. Its voice resonated through Lyra's mind and out loud. They are the Ktharuun. They pursued us across galaxies for our knowledge, our essence. They consume and erase. The first of the descending craft breached the atmosphere, a sleek, predatory design with a mottled black surface that seemed to drink in the light. More followed, forming a loose phalanx as they streaked toward the desert floor, their engines silent, but menacing. Lyra turned to Rafe. Are the excavation drones equipped with any kind of defenses? Minimal, he said grimly. They weren't built for combat. Lyra faced the Shalenthra. Do you have the means to defend yourselves? The being extended its staff, and crystals in the surrounding desert hummed and shifted. A pulse of energy rippled outward, and thin, sharp crystal towers erupted from the sands, forming a defensive perimeter. We are weak from our long slumber, it said, but we will fight to preserve what remains. The Ktharuun vessels landed with precision, disgorging tall, insectile forms clad in shimmering carapaces. They moved with eerie grace, weapons at the ready, their eyes glowing a cold blue. One of the Ktharuun spoke, its voice harsh, metallic. Stand aside, humans. The Shalenthra belong to us. Lyra stood her ground, her voice shaking but resolute. They are free. We're not handing them over. A tense silence followed, broken only by the hum of the crystal defenses. Then, the Ktharuun opened fire. Beams of searing energy lanced toward the excavation site, but the Shalenthra's crystalline barriers flared to life, absorbing and deflecting the attacks. Lyra felt the energy surge beneath her feet, the planet itself resonating with the Shalenthra's will. The being turned to her. There is a choice. You can flee, leave us to fight alone, or join us. But if you stand with us, there is risk. The Ktharuun will not stop. Lyra's mind raced. She could order an evacuation, save her people, but doom the Shalenthra. Or she could stand with them and risk everything. She drew a deep breath. We stand with you. The Shalenthra's form brightened. Then we shall teach you how to wield the crystals. The surrounding crystal spires pulsed, and Lyra felt a strange sensation, like her mind was linking with the planet itself. Patterns and knowledge streamed into her consciousness: how to channel energy, how to bend light and resonance into shields and weapons. The excavation drones, too, began to hum and shift, their systems adapting under the Shalenthra's guidance. The first wave of Ktharuun charged, their weapons blazing. Lyra and Rafe, now armed with crystallized tools reshaped into weapons of light and sound, stood ready beside the Shalenthra. "For Haven's reach," Lyra whispered. The battle for Tahlora had begun. The first wave of Ktharuun warriors crashed against the crystal defenses. Energy bolts and searing plasma struck the shimmering walls, but the lattice of resonant crystal hummed with defiance. Lyra felt the planet itself beneath her feet, alive and vibrating with latent power, as though Tahlora was awakening alongside the Shalenthra, whom Lyra had come to think of as Aerith, lifted his crystalline staff. Light arced across the defensive lines, weaving into complex patterns of force. The Ktharuun, unprepared for such resistance, fell back momentarily. "They will adapt," Aerith warned. "The Ktharuun learn quickly. We must strike before they breach." Lyra's modified excavation drones hummed at her command. Under the Shalenthra's guidance, their digging lasers had been recalibrated into precise, high-energy beams. Rafe piloted one with a steady hand, slicing through the Ktharuun ranks. "We're holding them," Rafe said, his voice taut with adrenaline. "But there's too many." Lyra realized Tahlora wasn't just a planet, it was a network. The Shalenthra weren't merely prisoners. They were stewards of a vast, interconnected system. "There's something bigger we can tap into," she said. Aerith nodded. "Tahlora holds the Great Chorus, a planetary harmonic capable of renewal. We need your help to complete it." The Ktharuun pressed harder, shattering parts of the crystal lattice. Lyra ran to the spire, placing her hands on its surface. Patterns of light spiraled up its length. Aerith joined her. "Follow the resonance." Lyra closed her eyes, feeling her mind expand into the planet's lattice. She was no longer just one human, but part of a vast, interconnected symphony. A final, massive blast shattered the crystal barrier. The Ktharuun surged forward, the spire erupted in a pulse of light. Waves of resonance cascaded outward, disrupting the Ktharuun technology and scattering their forces. The crystal network reformed, stronger and more intricate. Aerith's form solidified, the Ktharuun fled, their forms unraveling. Aerith turned to Lyra. "You have saved not only us, but yourselves. Tahlora is now a sanctuary." Lyra looked to the twin suns rising over the desert. The whisper was no longer a mystery, but a song of hope, a promise of a shared future. 20 years had passed since the Battle of Tahlora, and the world had transformed. Where once jagged crystals thrust from barren sands, now entire cities grew, harmonious structures of fused crystal and steel, shaped by human hands and Shalenthra resonance. Haven's reach, now the chorus, thrived as a symbol of unity. Lyra Chen stood atop the resonant spire, gazing across the city's shimmering towers. Children of both species played below, their laughter blending with the hum of crystal harmonics. Aerith stood beside her, his form fully integrated into Tahlora's lattice. "They still watch from the void," he said of the Ktharuun. "But this world is strong. We will stand together." Lyra touched the crystal railing, feeling the hum of life. "I came here to study geology. I never imagined shaping a new civilization." Aerith's eyes gleamed. "This is not the end, Lyra Chen. It is only the beginning." As the twin suns set, the whisper rose into the sky, not a mystery, but a promise.